As he's driving, he's starting to struggle to keep his eyes open and concentrate, so he pulls over onto the side of the road. He's starting to realize he may be dehydrated, so he looks around all over his car for something to drink and eventually finds a plastic bottle. Sadly, it's empty. He signs in disappointment, but then he looks to the scenery, and he sees a small body of water, so he quickly unclips his seat belt, opens his car door and starts to limp over to this water. Eventually he reaches it, he lays down flat and lowers his face into the water. Suddenly he feels this excruciating pain in his right side. He slowly raises his head out of the water and looks to his right. Over his shoulder, there's a lion biting into his side. He grabs a stick that was laying close to him, and starts beating this lion in the face. The lion backs off and he slowly stands up and backs off himself. He hears some growling in front of him, and sees about 5 or 6 more lions around him. He feels that it might be over for him, but he looks behind him and sees his truck about 15 meters away, and he starts to hobble as fast as he can to his vehicle. However, it is not fast enough. A few lions are just following him, swiping at his arms and legs, lacerating with their blade-like claws, but he perseveres and manages to make it to his car. He opens the door, sits down and goes to turn the keys. They were gone. He looks and sees them laying by the body of water. They must have fallen out of his pocket while he was taking a drink. He feels like giving up, and because of how exhausted he is and how much liquid life force he has lost, he begins to pass out. While he was passing out, he can hear what sounds like the clicking of cameras and talking. He then wakes up in a hospital, confused on how he made it to the hospital. Well, as it turns out, there was a safari group in that area, and they came across the whole thing. That's why there was the clicking of cameras and talking. They had noticed him in his truck passed out, so the safari leader fired off a warning shot to scare the lions away, and people dragged him out of his truck and loaded him onto the safari truck, took him to the hospital, and he survived with no life-changing injuries. To this day, he still has the half of the board that got him back onto the beach hung up on his wall. Thank you for watching. Feel free to share your stories and thoughts in the comment section.